don't want to get another one. At least not yet.
No.
Wait a little bit.
I feel you. No, I'm gonna roll my PlayStation 4 for a while. We're rolling, so I can edit all this shit out at the beginning, or we can continue on strong because we were talking about PlayStations, but we might as well do this open. You are.
My name is Greg Gavin. I like breakfast food and not dying or having things put in my butt. I guess that's a pretty good description of me.
Why do you want to make a podcast, Greg?
I have thoughts and opinions.
What's your favorite opinion?
My favorite opinion is my favorite opinion would be. My favorite opinion is that the McDonald's double stacked breakfast sandwiches are a piece of shit. It's too goddamn much. That's my favorite opinion.
Well, I feel like McDonald's is a piece of shit in general.
Oh, I mean, I would like to, but I got kids, so I'm kind of stuck
That's
in
a good.
McDonald's.
That's a good point.
And it's horrible, but
Uh-huh.
you know, growing up, you know, or as a teenager, you know, you kind of grow into thinking that McDonald's is really cheap, but it's not. It's like drastically more expensive than like a lot of other fast food places. I mean, maybe not Culver's.
Well, back home it was cheap. It's not cheap here. We have a dollar menu back home, like an actual you can get a cheeseburger for $1 and shit.
Yeah, back home being Chicago or
a Chicago area.
Okay.
But the Dells is real tricky because around 10, 11 p.m. They'll
despise it.
Oh, they just cut their menu up. You can only get 6 things,
and
they jack the prices up.
And they get mad at you for not knowing it.
And it's like 6, 7 different things, but it's really only a variation of 3 things.
Yeah, like
you can have different types of quarter pounders, chicken or chicken nuggets, or you can get a fish fillet. That's it.
Yeah. No, I was a couple weeks ago. I went there and I asked for like a big triple or something, and they're like, we don't have that. We only have our late night menu. And I'm like, okay, what's on your late night menu? And you just hear I'm like, you don't have any of it up. They're like quarter pounder this, quarter pounder that. I'm like, I want a quarter pounder, and it's like, all right, that'll be like $11. I'm like, fuck that. I just left.
It's all it takes.
You went to Taco Bell, but but no, like you have like 3 kids, 2 adults, it gets up to like $35. But say you go to Wendy's, you get like a bunch of 4 for $4s.
They got their 4 for $4s.
It's like $20 for everybody. It's like.
Are you closer to Boston than the Dells?
Well, I live in Boston.
Oh, you live right in Boston, so you're right there.
In Boston.
Because I know if I'm in the area.
Stay away from my house, you fucking creeps.
Oh, I'm gonna eat a 4 for $4 in front of your fucking house.
Okay, that'd be cool. 4 for $4.
Loud. I'm gonna plug in an amplifier and feed a microphone through it and just.
Yeah. First episode, I'm gonna give away my personal information.
That's
but no.
McDonald's in Boston.
No, I am Greg Gavin, and my co-host here is
Joseph Nelson.
Oh shit!
If you're a judge or a lawyer, if not, you just call me Joe. Most people call me Angry Joe.
Yeah.
Why would they call me Angry Joe, Greg?
I kind of always thought of you as a bit of my anger translator. I mean,
that's right. We did that bit a little bit at college, didn't we?
Yeah, it's I don't know, like I have a thought, and I'd be a little more, not so blunt. And
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt. She came out as an anti-vaxxer. Or was that Amanda Beale? Oh, jeez, I should probably get that right.
Who the fuck is Amanda Beale?
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel.
Well, I'm sorry, Amanda Blunt, whoever the fuck you are.
Emily Blunt and Jessica Biel.
Emily Blunt.
Jessica
I'm
Biel.
Sorry, Amanda Blunt and Emily Blunt and whoever.
Just throwing in names. Just throwing names. Jessica Biel can be whatever she wants to be, man. That broad is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Fuck JT.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, he figured out how to land that bird.
What the fuck is he? Wait, did he really? That's
yeah.
Intense. My exposure to Jessica Biel was through BoJack Horseman, where she just shows up in there and they just make weird rhyming things off of Jessica Biel's name they're like, I'm Jessica Biel, and that's a big deal, and stupid shit like that. And it's like, oh my fucking, they love rhyming in that show.
That's right. I mean, you might as well.
It makes me happy.
How do you not? I know Jessica Biel from two things. Seventh Heaven
Whoa.
and Blade Trinity, which are very two different things, so good for her. So good for her.
With Triple H. As a band
With
member.
fucking clean-shaven Triple H, that fucking nose of his. Paul Levesque, you French motherfucker.
Future felon Wesley Snipes, starring at the center. God.
Going from a felon to an Oscar winner. Marvel is making some moves.
Yeah, Blade. I cannot pronounce that dude's first name. Mashan Ali. God damn it. I should probably get that right, but
Mashallah? Isn't it Mashallah?
I hope so.
Oh, me?
But
No.
he's amazing. Man, they treated that, with him coming out with the Blade hat on, kind of like an NBA draft or an NFL
They
draft.
did. Don't you have a
They
hat?
come out with that like, ooh, like, oh my god.
Don't you have an Oscar-winning
Playing
hat?
for them this year. Wow.
Oh, Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala.
Yeah, there's a whole nother syllable in there. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. He'll be our first listener.
I trust him. I really trust him because he was
yeah.
such a good cottonmouth.
Yeah. Great in Luke Cage.
And he was the fucking Prowler.
Yeah, and he's really good in True Detective season 3.
You know, I heard,
Especially with him playing like 3 different timelines. He plays a senior citizen where he's dealing with like dementia. And then there's like
that's fantastic.
him in the past, and there's him like maybe 10 years down the line. And I only got halfway through that I lost my HBO
Ooh,
because I'm broke. But from what I saw, I liked it a lot. And my God.
you know, I just need to watch that show because I know what season 1 was Woody Harrelson and
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
They're involved with all 3 seasons in one way or another, but
Are they?
They star in the first season. But
So who was season 2?
season 2 is Colin Farrell, Vince Vaughn, someone got a few other people, but those are the big.
Yeah, those are the two guys.
Those are
So
the big ringers.
is Mahershala alone on this one? Because the season 1 and 2 they both got.
He's the big name cast for the 3rd season.
Oh, so he's holding it down. He doesn't have a Woody or a Vaughn.
No, but McConaughey and Harrelson are producers, I believe, for all seasons.
Well, good. They should be. They started. They should. They know that, and Woody Harrelson's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about him being Carnage. I love Woody Harrelson all the way from Cheers. I love this motherfucker, but I can't see him as Carnage.
Yeah, I mean.
Or maybe it was that goofy fucking wig. That was a really bad fucking wig.
Yeah, big and poofy. Kind of looks like my daughter's hair, where it's big and fucking.
Nah.
It's like a Jufro.
But I'm sure your daughter's hair is at least real.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, they announced that Andy Serkis is directing.
Yeah, so
Venom 2.
I know him from Apes, and he was Claw in Ultron and Black Panther.
He's also Gollum.
But he's only directed 2 other. He was Gollum, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. That's his.
He's that
plays,
CGI
He
motherfucker.
plays Snoke in the new Star Wars trilogy also, and
This is gonna be his 3rd movie directing. I haven't seen the other 2, so I don't even know what his
I
style
haven't seen
is.
any of his directed movies, but
His first one was
I would
2017.
say he'd be knowledgeable in motion capture at the very least.
Oh, absolutely.
So with Venom and Carnage probably being heavy in CGI, he'd probably have a lot to do with that and the motions and how they move, because he's very particular in how he moves around.
Hey, you got 2 big ass symbiotes. You got to be able to, I guess, figure out what the scene's gonna be. So yeah, I'll have a good mind for that.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm curious.
everything I've seen of it, I've seemed to enjoy it. So,
Some people make that transition. Bradley Cooper made that transition pretty well. Jonah Hill's, what movie was that? The kid movie.
the kid movie.
Yeah, mid-90s. Did you see that? Jonah. So while Bradley was doing this gigantic, I'm gonna have sex with Lady Gaga in the next couple of weeks type movie, award-winning, show-stealing type movie, Jonah Hill is low-key doing an independent film called Mid-90s about
kind of going the Robert Pattinson route then.
Yeah, just ducked out for a second, trying to catch a feel for his things. How do you feel about Robert Pattinson as Batman?
I'm okay with it. I mean, I've only seen him in Twilight, but then again, I never really saw Twilight, so luckily, I haven't really been spoiled in that way. But I know he dislikes that series a lot.
Yeah.
Not that he has to dislike his work for me to like him as Batman, but from what I've heard, it's who's directing it? Matt Reeves.
I don't know the director.
I think it's Matt Reeves.
What has he done?
Oh God, I don't know. From what I've heard, it's supposed to be more of a Batman, not as like a super veiny action hero guy, but more,
they're gonna touch on the detective aspect.
Yeah. So with him being more slender and things like that, I think they'll be a lot better for him in that regard. I think he did the Planet of the Apes movies, right?
Yeah, he did Planet of the Apes. He did the 2 Cloverfields.
Oh, nice.
I done some off-brand indie stuff. I don't mean off-brand indie stuff. That's not an insult, but you know what it is.
Yeah.
People don't always go for RC.
Yeah.
But RC is kind of dope.
Yeah. But no, when was it when Ben Affleck was announced and the whole internet blew up and they wanted him dead, more or less.
As an actor or as the director? Because he was trying to helm the whole
at
damn
first
project.
it was just him being named as Batman, and then it was the director thing, and they just kept going through changes, and then he got that giant dragon tattoo on his back, and he ended up going to rehab or something, and
yeah, that's right, he did.
He's out now, but
he was doing some funky things.
Yeah,
but I mean, they all do. We're all entitled to our funky stuff.
I mean, Flashpoint is still being remade too.
I feel like they're gonna fuck that up.
I don't think it's coming out. I think they're just.
You think it's gonna be like a Gambit type deal, like they're gonna get people excited for it, then just never deliver?
Yeah, I know whoever that guy is. Like,
I don't like him as much as the Arrowverse guy. The Arrowverse Flash.
Nodding on the podcast. That's good audio content right there.
No, the motherfucker from Glee, man.
Yeah, I mean, they've gone through a few different writing teams and all that, and the guy's just like, we're gonna get it right. We're all very, we all care about this movie very much and want to get it right. And it's like, that tells me you're uncompromising and, things like that, and you're not going to be able to find the right guy to get your vision out, They're not going to know what they're doing. They're not going to be able to helm it right. And, I mean, take a look at, Comic-Con, Marvel's got this big show, but DC's nowhere to be found, in their next movies.
DC, they announced the Crisis on Infinite Earths. They announced some of that.
Yeah.
And then a few comic book things, but yeah, nothing crazy. But they don't. What else do you have? Everybody knows, or everybody should know that the Joker's coming out?
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing really for that. There was, their next big DC tie movie is Wonder Woman, 1984, 87.
They already got that poster up at the AMC. I haven't even seen the trailer yet.
There is no trailer.
So
there's only the poster, and that would have been a good time to release a trailer.
Yeah, because it's just with the poster you can't even tell that it's Wonder Woman. It looks like some psychedelic type stuff.
Yeah. So
that it's kind of off-putting. It's not screaming Wonder Woman. That's not your brand.
Yeah,
that's an interesting choice.
Like, what? There's going to be a whole year with no Marvel really until they get ready for Disney Plus and all that. So you'd think this would be the year for DC to make some kind of big announcement. At least trailer-wise, or maybe some audio.
That's why I think that they're putting all their stake in this Arrowverse thing, because they got Kevin Conroy playing Batman. He's gonna play a live-action Batman for once.
A live-action one.
Yeah, he's gonna do.
Jesus.
Yeah. Who else? The original Robin from the Adam West days. I can't remember his name.
Oh my God.
The Lex Luthor from Smallville. He's gonna be in the show.
I'm okay with that because he's involved heavily in a lot of the superhero stuff. He voices, I think, the Flash in one of the shows or movies.
Is he still in the game? Good for him.
He does a lot of the stuff. He does Lex Luthor animated a few times, and I can't think of any titles, but I know if I look at IMDb, it's all over the place.
Did you hate Jesse Eisenberg as Lex? Forget the hair. There's always weird the X-Men shouldn't be wearing black leather, but there was some crazy ass hair.
I don't really know, to be honest, because I haven't really seen him in his full power, with the big suit and all that.
Well, we're never gonna see him.
He's all just fucking pulling strings, and it's the most complex fucking strings you can think of. It's like, what the hell was that plot to Batman Superman? He somehow gets that dude to bomb that hearing with Superman, and then that leads to somehow getting Batman to find his files on superheroes, and then he convinces them to fight each other.
You remember more than me.
Yeah,
it was the plot was very lackluster. Martha.
Yeah, Martha.
Why did you say that name?
Martha. Wait a minute, what's your father's name? And they start fighting again.
It was just such an awkward way for them to.
Yeah.
They could have done better. You got two mainstay DC protagonists.
Batman's around since the 30s. Superman around the 40s. I was around when the Jews were coming over from, threats of the Nazi regime. That's what it was made. And it was, you got all this fucking canon you could go off of, and you come up with just their mother's fucking names. Bull.
That's it.
Batman being upset that, Superman, knocked all these buildings down, and he's worried about, the populace.
Well, in the meantime, Batman's fucking shooting people with automatic weapons. What the fuck is he doing? This ain't Flashpoint. You're not Thomas Wayne.
It don't make no goddamn sense.
I don't want to see Batman shooting people unless it is Thomas Wayne.
That's one of the things I'm kind of excited about if Flashpoint does come out, is I would like to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
He'd be so good at it.
I liked it in Supernatural. It's one of the few things I liked in The Walking Dead in the last few years. He's great in everything he does.
I can tell you that episode of Negan having everybody, because I'm not a Walking Dead fan. I tried a couple times, but the problem is I watched Breaking Bad, and that set a bar that was unprecedented till Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So by the time I watched Walking Dead, it was just a couple episodes of the one Broadway Reds is in jail, and there's an old guy sick in a cell, probably with sickle cell.
That's like season 3, season 4.
It was something
where they get that prison yard, and they.
Yeah, it was about that.
They chop his leg off and whatever because he gets bit and he has to use the crutch.
Yeah, it didn't grab me, and then I watched the Negan episode, and the way he laid into this the one motherfucker, what's his name? Glenn, his eyeball pops the fuck out and shit.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. And then I didn't watch it.
Yeah, those big comic moments that they get from the comics like that with the eye and the bat, that's straight from the comics.
There was another one that was straight from the comics. I saw a video. It was a side-by-side comparison, but it was the pool table scene in the outside. And that was impressive. If the show was like this the whole time, it might be. I don't know.
Yeah, first season I liked. It was very... the guy that was running it was like a legitimate horror director. I cannot think of his name, but then they got rid of him at season 2, and then the guy that started the showrunner was big on costume design. That was his big forte. So the costumes and all that was really good, but the story, the filler in between wasn't that compelling. The big moments they still got from the books and the comics. So so when that stuff hit, it was still a big deal. But the in-between, not so much. I watched the first 3 seasons, when John Bernthal's in it as, Shane, I think it is.
I think
It's
it's
been a
something,
long time
I think it's
since I
something
watched
like this. He plays a cop.
Yeah.
Alongside.
Yeah, and Rick Grimes. You know, those two together are great. And then, you know.
By the way, he is my favorite Punisher.
Fantastic.
The first movie's good. Second movie, and
Second movie.
It's
The only thing I remember with the second Punisher, Warzone, right?
Yeah.
Is where he breaks his nose and he shoves that pencil up his nose and he snaps it back into place.
It was just.
That's the only thing I remember.
It was just a lot of violence just to be violence. You know, there wasn't. I don't know what they were going for. Frank Castle's a deeper man than that, and that's where he shined. He was like, oh, you're gonna care about Frank Castle.
Yeah, that was. My God, we're jumping topics. We should probably tell people what our name is. So is our podcast called Bearded Synergy or
Bearded Synergy. You got to get yours going again.
Okay, yeah, we as you can tell we talk some BS about things you care about, things we care about,
Well, hopefully you care about what we care about.
You're gonna care about it.
You're gonna have to turn that down.
Okay.
No, turn that. You're fine.
Yeah. If you hear some inconsistencies or weird habits,
suck my dick.
We're doing some test runs, so it'll take a few times to kind of get the kinks rolled out, maybe get like a belt, start smacking you like, stop fucking scratching the table, stop,
This is like the state of WWE right now, except we're not successful before we have to figure this out.
Yeah.
They were plenty successful, and then they're not. They're like, we got to figure this shit out.
Yeah, we have no deal with Fox as of yet.
I'll take one.
Oh God, well, that's a whole thing too. What do you think about the Roman Reigns and Rikishi type of deja vu thing?
Oh, the
Someone
car
keeps trying
accident?
to kill him. And it's like,
I did it for The Rock. Yeah,
isn't it like Daniel Bryan?
That's the rumor that it's gonna be Daniel Bryan, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I know they're trying to misdirect with Samoa Joe right now, which I get because they had a little bit of heat, quote unquote heat.
I would love to see that match. Roman is the character doesn't do much for me. As a person, he's awesome, but the character is bland. Just flavorless.
It's tiring. It's they had the forethought to alternate The Rock, between gimmicks.
Yeah.
And
you like The Rock,
always worked.
Now he's wearing a bulletproof vest and long, greasy hair.
Yeah,
that's like, oh wow.
Big ass fucking belt buckle.
Yeah.
With the Brahma Bull on it. No, I think that's the people are afraid. I don't think it's Vince. Vince, he's afraid to take a chance on the big name guys, but that was what worked. Is changing like the Bray Wyatt thing. It's a perfect. This gimmick is fantastic.
That stuff's gold.
Because it's fresh, and it's fresh for the character because the character was going stale for so long.
Yeah, plus it's not Vince's idea; it's all Bray's idea.
Oh, and the mask is dope. I think I read that the mask was done by the same people who did Slipknot's masks.
Yes,
and it shows.
There was a Reddit AMA for one of the producers of the Firefly Funhouse. He did like a question and answer type of deal, and he was saying how they filmed them all in one day and how Bray he was on fire the whole time.
Firefly.
Yeah, he was just all over the place, and
he must have had a ball with it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, and I loved every bit of it. It
sucks they got to bury Finn on the way out, but maybe they could bring him back and do the demon thing with him. Hopefully they don't do the demon at SummerSlam.
Well, it's not advertised as the demon, thankfully.
Well,
was the last demon match advertised as a demon? Because I feel like I remember being surprised by it.
Yeah, it was.
Was it a last minute thing?
Well, Bray got injured, and they threw in AJ Styles into it, and it was an AJ versus Finn type of deal.
And that was a good match.
That was pretty good.
Those two are fantastic. But I love AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I did read, and this, there's so many wrestling rumors, but the thing was, it said Finn asked for time off So they might just be burying him to give him his rest.
Yeah, he wants a bit of a vacation.
But also
I heard.
Well, also he was at soccer games drinking like a goddamn goldfish. So maybe he just wants to chase his girlfriend around a little more.
Well, you know,
I don't
Money
blame
in the
him.
Bank, he got fucking like absolutely destroyed. You know, what, like power bombed on ladders a few times. You know,
He takes bumps. He's one of these motherfuckers that just he takes them.
you know, it's
And he
shit like
sells
that.
really good.
It's shit like that where I watch it, and then I'm like, if I fell fucking 2 steps off that ladder and landed just fine on my fucking back, I would not want to do shit for a week.
Yeah, it would.
I
It would
call it
fucking
everywhere.
hurt.
I'm like, you know that funeral I'm supposed to go to? I can't do that. I had a terrible injury. And they're like, what happened? Like, oh, I fell off the ladder. But it's only, 2 steps. He's getting fucking slammed around, and he just goes back the next fucking day, and he's just. So I cannot blame him.
They don't
for wanting a
get
break.
they don't get enough credit.
They don't.
And he needs a break. His character needs a break. What he should do is he should come back
As a heel.
as a heel with
see.
That's right.
Oh my god, that is so. Great.
That it would be the original.
Like maybe do like I don't know if you watch NXT, but
I should more. I watch sparingly every now and again.
I really just watch the pay-per-views because that's where all the
The
all
takeovers.
the shit, yeah, that's where all the shit
The
happens.
takeovers are dope. I'm always impressed by what they do.
They should do like a Roderick Strong type of deal where they were in a tag team 4-way for the titles, like Undisputed Era. Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong.
Does Pete Dunne still have that title?
He lost it.
Who do you lose it to?
Walter.
He
Big fucking UK dude.
How long did he have
big-
that title for?
About 2 years, I think.
Jesus.
A long time. And Walter is just fucking shot. He just smacks the fucking shit out of people.
No, did
Kind of like the Great Khali did with his fucking palm down.
fuck the Great Khali, man.
But, yeah,
I
except-
saw that motherfucker in real life though. He's as huge as he thinks. I went to No Mercy in I think it was 2006, 2007 in Chicago. It was the prison Punjabi match. Batista and the Great
Oh
Khali.
my god, you were.
This fucking guy was insane. I mean, Batista's huge.
Yeah.
That guy is, especially back then. He's cut considerably since then, but back he was fucking jacked. But Great Khali, he fucking towered. That was night. I think Randy Orton or I think Triple H. One of those motherfuckers had like 3 matches for the title or something. They kept switching.
I don't think I was really watching it around then. I stopped around. Yeah, for some reason, I compared wrestling years to the games. I stopped at around SmackDown versus Raw 2008.
Oh no, I do very much because that roster has got nowadays it's confusing because the roster is the same for these 2K games. The only thing that's different is the primary attire,
Yeah.
and because they have the NXT guys anyway, so it's not like you're calling them up. It's just there's a brand switch and clothing, but the roster is a big indicator. I think maybe I stopped watching. Jeff Hardy came back. And I actually missed him winning those championships, which was too bad.
Yeah, me too. I was gone around then too.
That was a
I
shame.
heard about it, but-
The Jeff Hardy CM Punk rivalry era. I went back and watched it and was like, damn, I should have kept watching.
I think I stopped around. I remember seeing when Nexus was around, when they first brought in NXT, but it was like a reality show, and all those guys just beat the shit out of John Cena, and it was awesome. They ripped the ring apart like by the ropes, and then there was like a couple weeks later, John Cena beat the shit out of all of them, every single one of them, and I'm like, nope. That was it. I stopped for a while.
And that's a big match, John.
Yeah, it's just, after a while, you kind of take,
As John Cena, he's a weird. It's just that motherfucker is just, I guess, polarizing.
Yeah.
When he switched over and became world champ, and did that stuff, it was all fine. But
Yeah.
the gimmick, it was almost like Roman Reigns-y. You know what I'm saying? It's like it got tiresome from him. But the Doctor of Thugonomics, if he would have stayed that for a while, I don't think I would have ever got bored.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Because he was a fantastic heel.
Yeah, he was. I mean, it's still great, you know, and every now and again I'll go on YouTube and look up, you know, his best, you know, verses or whatever, and it's fantastic, especially as like, well, with Brock Lesnar, back when like Here Comes the Pain was around. Why I think like that, I don't know, but he like called,
I still play that game. That game.
yeah, Brock Lesnar's,
It's number 2 of all
said
time.
that Brock Lesnar has a nice tattoo, what was that, of his mother on his back. I'm like, oh my god, that's fucking gold.
That's savagery.
But
I
yeah,
remember watching. I think they were gearing up for a pay-per-view, and John Cena's entering in through the Sunday Night Heat. Entrance, and there's
Yeah.
crowds, and some dude tries to freestyle him, and he just tears the guy apart. I remember thinking, it's not fucking bad.
yeah,
Nowadays, I hear the songs, and I'm like, eh. But back then, he hit it.
yeah,
Some good shit.
yeah. I mean, like acting wise, is not bad and all that now, but
Blockers was fucking
Blockers
garbage.
is-
Did you like it?
I love Blockers.
Man, I watched the first half. I turned it off.
Oh, it's so good.
I couldn't do it.
They got it.
I'm glad somebody liked it.
There's a blooper in the special features where what the fuck was it? It was where John Cena's butt chugging and he's like improving lines while he's butt chugging, and it's fucking hilarious the shit he says.
That would be funny. I guess maybe it was just maybe the intro was slow and drawn out for me.
Yeah,
It wasn't like Night School with Kevin Hart, because that movie was hilarious to me.
I'm not seeing that yet.
It was with him and Tiffany Haddish. Fat Joe plays an inmate on a TV.
God, Fat Joe's still around.
Yeah, and he's not that fat anymore.
Well, that sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
so what? That now they changed his name to Fat Joe with like a PH instead of like a FAT.
No, I think it's still FAT, but it's all lowercase.
Yeah, not cool.
Well, he survives. He's got plenty of money. He's been around he's been around for a while. I think he was getting some real big records in the early 90s.
Yeah, but I know our plan is to do wrestling stuff separate because I know for some people it can be a little polarizing. But I imagine we'll do a SummerSlam kind of review breakdown next week,
Yes.
and then we can kind of get more in depth in what our thoughts are with that. But for now, I think we should. You want to start with E3 or like Comic-Con to kind of get our,
There were some things that were interesting to me that I remember just
yeah.
geeking over.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with the Switch coming out. That's pretty cool. Like, I had an Xbox One, but now I got a PS4 and a Switch. Switch is awesome for the kids, but it's, every now and again I'll play some Civilization. But I'm excited for Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Looks pretty good.
I just watched gameplay of that. I don't have a Switch. We used to have one at the house. My girlfriend's got a Switch, so I'm probably gonna buy it just so I can play it on hers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks so fucking good.
Yeah, they got there's that. There's Luigi's Mansion 3. That looks good.
I love Luigi's Mansion.
I like the first two. I keep both of those.
Oh, absolutely.
What else did they have going on?
They had.
I know they're coming out with The Witcher 3 for the Switch, which is going to take up the entire memory.
Yeah,
if you download it.
That's a deep
so
game.
You gotta buy just the card. That way it don't completely take over your entire memory. But
That's a deep game. I have it for the
I'm excited for
PS4.
that, and I'm excited for the show.
I'm excited for the show too, man.
Henry Cavill. That guy can do.
He got ripped.
He's always
He's always been ripped, but he's dangerous now.
He's what Ted Bundy wanted to be. Where Ted Bundy was all like, I'm handsome and all this shit and I'm smart. Ted Bundy wasn't smart. He tried to go to be a lawyer and he fucking flunked everything.
Well, he was cunning. He was a different
he
kind of
just told
smart.
everybody, I'm a lawyer. He wasn't a fucking lawyer. He got into the school and he flunked out. The guy fucking did a bunch of gross shit.
Did you get fired up from the Netflix special?
I never saw it. I got a friend.
You didn't even waste your time, huh? Zac
No.
Efron looked just like the motherfucker.
I remember I was listening to a podcast about James Jones at the time, and they got audio files on there, and that shit gets dark. And then my friend's like, you should watch this Ted Bundy documentary. And I'm like, I'm good. And he's like, well, why not? And I'm like, he doesn't do it. I mean,
Who's your favorite serial killer?
My favorite serial. Let me look in my binder of trading cards for serial killers.
We all got them.
I don't care for them.
I collected from serials.
Annoy me. I mean, they flat out just annoy me. I would say there's any I could understand. Dangerous line there.
The Son of Sam?
I would say the Unabomber. Just because he's interesting and he's at least intelligent in his own way, But, as, for like the really messed up ones, that do it because their mama never hugged them or whatever,
Well, there's either psychopaths or children of trauma, but that goes without saying. Zodiac was a fucking gangster.
You mean Ted Cruz?
Yeah. Hey man, we all got our different aliases. He was a fucking gangster. H.H. Holmes, he was. Leo and Scorsese are supposed to be working on a project for H.H. Holmes. Have you heard about this at all? Mm-mm. I hope this is true, because I've heard about it several times. Leo, I will recycle the rest of my life. Everything I can fucking see. If you make this, make it soon. Yeah. And then invite me for a private screening.
Yes.
Or else I won't recycle anything. But you know H.H. Holmes at all?
No.
So he was the first serial killer in the United States. Mm-hmm. His dwelling was within Chicago, and he had this big ass building. It was just like a fucking tower and shit. And he converted the rooms to death traps.
With all the fucking like hidden rooms and all that.
Yes,
yeah, okay.
H.H. Holmes.
I'm familiar with the house, not the name, but
that there's just a level of creativity and engineering there that I know he was fucked up, but you gotta respect it.
Yeah. Like, you had some drive at least.
Like this one, he knew what he was doing, and he really went for it. This motherfucker was a dreamer, and he accomplished his dreams.
It's the American dream. To build a house and fill it with a bunch of death throats.
If he was on America's Got Talent, he would have got that golden buzzer for sure.
Yeah.
Look at my house.
Come visit my house, judges, and they're smacking the buzzers on accident trying to get out.
Yes,
I must have won.
Yes, come here, Simon. Yeah, it's torture because it's all your previous episodes of American Idol.
Yes. But speaking of serial killers and movies, it's kind of timely. Have you seen that Quentin Tarantino movie?
Not yet, but I want to. So.
And in Hollywood.
Oh, the moment I heard about this, I haven't been this excited for a non-Marvel movie in quite some time.
Yeah.
Like I'm always excited for Marvel movies. I'm just programmed for it at this point. But a non-Marvel movie, this has got me pre-gaming with other Tarantino flicks. I'm just all kinds about it. And I'm really excited to see Leo and Brad Pitt work side by side like this.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard spoilers, so I'm not going to say anything. But it's supposed to be pretty good.
Oh my god, it's exciting because it feels from the trailer, it just feels slower than his usual work.
Yeah,
and that for me that shows growth.
Yeah. Everyone's freaking out about the Charles Manson bit and how he's involved with it.
So people were freaking out. I guess Bruce Lee's family was freaking out about this movie too.
They do a portrayal of Bruce Lee.
I saw the scene.
I guess it's because Brad Pitt apparently has his way with him more or less,
yeah.
wise, and like no. It's like from what I've heard, this movie's supposed to be another take on kind of the fictional history, kind of like Django Unchained was, and all that.
Yeah.
All that where it kind of takes things that went wrong and he tries to make it more right and politically correct, but
he knows what message he wants to send, and he has no problem sending it. So that part, he's a huge influence on my writing. I did see a video talking about all the times that he stole from other movies and stuff.
He's a little weird. There's like
But I feel everybody steals.
There's a thing, I forget what it was, but it's a thing where he's like in a room with a bunch of black people and he's talking a lot of slang, and he's got a little urban accent to him. It's really fucking awkward.
Is it in a movie or is this actual
It's like
live footage?
It's like an interview.
Okay.
It's been a couple years.
Well, he's got flavor, man. He's one of those white people that get an indefinite pass. He is co-signed by Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
He's got Jackson's stamp of approval.
He likes to say the N-word a little too much. I think he kind of gets away with it in a way.
Well, he doesn't discriminate
based on the way he films it. He definitely I mean, I would say he's definitely not racist.
I think he knows.
When you watch Django Unchained, everyone got mad that they kept saying it, but it was set in the 1800s.
And that's
dealing with racism, they're gonna say it. But I mean, the way it ended, where they kind of get the last leg up, kind of makes it kind of clears him in my mind, as what people accuse him of being. Although there's that scene in
Pulp Fiction.
I think it's Kill Bill where I think it's Uma Thurman's being choked. It's his hand actually.
It's my favorite movie.
And it surprises him, and he's choking her for real. And the face that she has is like.
Oh yes.
It's like genuine surprise because she's not expecting to be choked. When the Me Too stuff was coming out, people accused him of that, but
Did you hear they took, like, all right, so Toy Story 2? I like Pixar.
Never heard of it.
What is this indie movie that you're talking about?
Pixar?
That the new director of Venom is obviously a part of.
Yeah.
So yeah, Pixar always puts they make bloopers and deleted scenes for the end credits, because they're fun. These guys enjoy what they do. There was a Toy Story 2 quote unquote blooper with Kelsey Grammer's Prospector, and he's got the 2 Barbie dolls in the box with him, and he's like, well, I can get you in the movie, just and he's like caressing them. It's like he's caressing the Barbie dolls, and all that stuff which is it's not funny. Yeah. The Toy Story part's funny for me, but all the Hollywood people coming out about what they had to do to get roles and being touched and abused and stuff like this. Mm-hmm. When they re-released Toy Story 2 for promotion for Toy Story 4, they took that scene out because they deemed it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That movie came out 10 years ago? 12 years ago?
Solid amount of years either way. Stop reminding me how old I am.
Every time I remind you, I remind me.
Yes. Speaking of timely movies, I think we should review a very timely movie.
Anything from Time Warner.
Kangaroo Jack. I gotta tell you, I got some hot takes on that movie that need to be said.
Do it. Say it all. Christopher Walken is a show stealer.
Is he in that movie?
Yeah.
Well, shit. I fail as a reviewer. All I remember is that guy that looks like Jason Bateman, but isn't Jason Bateman.
Oh, Christopher...
I don't know.
Oh, are you talking about the guy who plays opposite Anthony Anderson?
I don't remember shit from the movie. I was just... I wasn't being serious.
How do you have any gripes with it then?
I was trying to make it funny.
I feel you. The problem with that is I really enjoyed that movie.
Oh, shit.
It's such a good fucking movie to me.
A good...
Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, Christopher Walken played Jerry O'Connell's father in that movie. And then Michael Shannon played the antagonist.
Michael Shannon is...
I don't know how you feel.
Fantastic.
Oh, he's one...
I love him and everything.
He's one of the best. Very underrated.
Have you seen The Night Before? It's a Christmas movie. It's a drug...
With Seth Rogen,
Jason
Papa Doc,
and,
Falcon.
And Anthony Mattis.
Yeah, you got the Canadian stoner, the new Captain America, and what could have been Robin all together for a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
No, I have not. I heard it was good though.
It's wonderful. I watch it every Christmas. It's fantastic.
Was
They
it-
got a nice. Oh god, there's so many awesome stuff in that movie, but Michael Shannon's in that, and he plays a drug dealer. Kind of. Well, spoilers for the night before, so I can't say that. I mean, if anyone cares, but
No, go ahead, spoil it.
no,
Spoilers.
no.
Do it.
It's worth watching.
All right, I'll check it.
It's fucking weird.
Is it better than Harold and Kumar's Christmas fucking special? Christmas 3D bullshit.
I like the first. I like White Castle, and that was about it.
You didn't like Guantanamo Bay, the cock meat sandwich?
That kind of got ruined for me. I was watching it with a friend a while back in like high school, I think it was, and he wanted to show me it. And this is back when unrated was like a weird, like big special thing on DVD. Like I got the unrated version.
Oh,
I was
around the American Pie years.
Yeah, and he's showing me it, and comes to the parts with the nudity, and he starts fapping away, and I'm like, I'm leaving.
This guy
I just came here to watch.
This guy
the
was
movie. I didn't
masturbating around you.
I didn't want to fap with anyone. That's not what I came here to do. I wanted to watch some, juvenile humor.
No, that's pedophile humor. It became pedophile humor. Well, that's awkward. But yeah, the first movie is really good.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Here's the thing about that movie.
I like how off topic we've gotten. We got the semblance. Like, let's talk E3.
We haven't talked
and then
E3
we
at
just
all.
like, let's talk about anything else. Kangaroo Jack, The Night Before.
It's the beautiful thing about movies.
Serial
All right. E3. So let's go. I'm pulling up Business Insider because that just feels official.
Feels official, yeah.
All right. So number one
I'm going
on Business
off of my
Insider,
memory.
the Project Scarlet, which is the next Xbox.
We don't know much about it yet, do we? I mean, I know the big move is now with crossplay because of Google Arcadia or Project Arcadia.
Stadia, Google Stadia,
Stadia.
which I'm kind of on board about. That was another thing talked about at E3, so that's relevant.
Yeah, it's
Finally, something relevant. There's something about Stadia that's very intriguing to me because it's the whole Netflix. We're streaming video games, but it's been done.
Mm-hmm.
They had that trial for Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the Chrome.
Yeah.
On the their actual web browser, and I heard when successful, it wasn't too bad. Yeah. The PlayStation has pretty much its own. The PlayStation Now,
Yeah.
where you have over 950 games is what they market it as, and you just press it. And I've tried it. The response is good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, there's a bit of lag to it. Like I was playing the Sly Cooper trilogy, and there's a bit where it lags mid jump, and it kind of fucks with how you position it. So you got to download it.
It was one of those Sony.
Some of them aren't
It was
even
one of those
letting you
Sony
download.
hackers, man. They were infiltrating your console.
Yeah. Good luck with that. I don't got shit for money for them.
What's interesting to me is you don't need an account with Google Stadia to actually play a game. You can purchase one like you would purchase a game on Google Play and just play it anywhere because it will be on your Google account. That part's cool to me.
Yeah.
And if you have weak internet connection here, fuck it, go over there.
Yeah, so you can't really live in the country, and have it really, but
No, unless you really hook up some kind of provider and figure out your towers or some shit, get a hotspot. So if you're in the country, you're gonna have a hard time even with an Xbox or a PlayStation.
yeah,
That's the thing. Most America don't know about this. As soon as you hit them back roads, you ain't that shit is a horror movie because if the back of your car gets tapped, your phone ain't working.
yeah, it's shit out there. There's my lover's got a friend that lives in the country, and they always try to play Black Ops, but her friend can't do it because her internet just sucks, and it takes her like 3 days to download Rocket League. That's like
Fucking
it's not a
Rocket
big
League.
game file, but That's how slow their internet is.
Rocket League is cross-platform though, isn't it?
Yes, I got a friend on Xbox that I play it with.
How does it work? Is the response time good? Does it feel competitive? Because the new Modern Warfare game, that's supposed to be cross-platform.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like. Heard the new Call of Duty. They're gonna have like accounts that stretch over the games too, over new games. So
Okay.
like record stays over. I'm not sure to what extent, but with like Rocket League, they have like a kind of like a friend system through the game itself. So say
Oh, okay. You know what?
my old name on PlayStation was Lahari Cornflake. So my Rocket League ID would be Lahari Cornflake and like 4 numbers.
Okay.
And you give that ID to whoever, like my friend on Xbox, he'll add that in on his, and I'll show up on his friend list on his Rocket League menu.
So it's
We
like
can join each other.
It's like a sub software type of deal.
Kind of, yeah. But, it works. It doesn't lag or anything.
Well, hopefully we get some good stuff in this Call of Duty game.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I wanted to see, the thing about E3 is we're Sony guys. We rock our PlayStations.
Yeah, I mean...
But Sony didn't show up. This was a lot of Microsoft. This was a little bit of Nintendo.
Sony wasn't even there, were they?
No. No, I think they have their
Nintendo
own.
was there for the first time in years. They usually do just like a video conference.
Yeah. Well, Nintendo's huge. They don't need to go anywhere. They'll just sell things. They're just a mainstay. They're easily the Coca-Cola of video games.
Yeah.
Marvel's Avengers.
Oh shit! Pop right in there. Sorry for your ears.
A lot of people were mad about this. A lot of people were mad about the character designs.
They kind of look. You know how you get like cereal and you got like your Frosted Flakes and like your name brand
I
cereal.
don't eat that shit because it has corn in it, Greg.
Fucking corn.
Okay,
But
mini
on
mini
the
wheat
bottom
cereal,
shelf-
shredded wheat cereal is where it's at.
But on the
With
bottom
almond,
shelf,
with almond milk.
Jesus Christ. But on the bottom shelf, they got that like bomb ass cereal in like the bags. But then you go to like, Aldi's or like the shelf below that where they have like the store brand cereal. They kind of look like the off brand. Like they kind of look like the Stuck Devils, like in the movies.
Yeah.
You know how they kind of resemble them, but
No.
not really. They look like,
Do you think they really look bad, or do you think people are mad because they don't look like the MCU counterparts? Because Peter Parker in the Spider-Man game looked nothing like Peter Parker in the comics or in any of the movies. He was a complete
They
reboot
always
of
look different,
facial
and
features.
people will get used to it one way or another. But it is something I thought was a little odd. Like when I saw Black Widow, I'm like, oh, that looks so off. I mean, I'll still play it. I'm not gonna.
Well, I mean, but
I'm not gonna-
nobody was ever mad that Scarlett didn't have a Russian accent.
Yeah.
Like that part wasn't Natasha Romanoff. Like she's a very Russian woman in the comics. Like
Yeah, I know in Age of Ultron, wasn't it? Wanda had a really intense Russian accent with Quicksilver, and then after that, she just lost it. Like it's not
she
anymore.
got Americanized really quickly.
Yeah,
But I love Elizabeth Olsen.
that's what happens when you get a USB by Vision.
Put it in my port. Put it in my port. They definitely did that Kofi Kingston thing.
Don't put it in my HDMI port. Put it in my disk drive.
Speaking of drive, what will drive people to enjoy the game, at least appearance wise, is the fact that all these costumes.
That's a fucking nice segue.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm almost professional.
Yes.
The amount of costumes, I guess, is going to be unheard of what you can make your, I guess, your chosen hero dress like. I heard they're really going to go deep in the bench with the costumes, kind of like a Spider-Man-esque with all the suits.
Yeah.
Which would be cool, man. I would love to play Cap as Bearded Cap, except I don't like the fact that he doesn't have a shield. If I could have Bearded Cap with the shield,
Yeah.
it don't feel the same with the
Maybe like
forearm.
Hydra Cat. That'd be kind of cool.
Hydra Cap would be dope.
Yeah.
I hope Spider-Man's in the game But you know how I feel about Spidey.
Oh, it's Sony. Still, they're gonna want to keep it on PlayStation.
Well, this is also Marvel's Avengers will be on PlayStation as well.
Yeah, but I know that Sony's the one that releases the Spider-Man movies, even like Homecoming and Far From Home.
Yeah, but we have
They
Spider-Man in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, well, maybe.
So that's exclusively Nintendo. Some fucking how that they should have cross-platformed that. That should have been fucking
That
all
is,
three.
that's Nintendo specifically
Well,
releasing that, and that's
Yeah.
only on the Switch.
that's right. They
that-
changed developers. That wasn't even the same developers as the first and second game.
Yeah, that's Raven Software, right? Or,
The first two games were.
yeah,
This game,
they're out of Madison, I guess. Went to
Ravensoft.
went to college orientation thing, and they were like, "Hey, you know the people that make Ultimate Alliance? They came from this college." I'm like, "MATC." All right, well, fine.
I mean the Call of Duty games were Raven too.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, as for Spider-Man and the Avengers game, that'll be interesting to see.
I hope they
Maybe
get
can do it
deep.
for like a sequel, or maybe they'll just keep it as like the core for now, and maybe build off it. But
I hope they get so fucking deep. I want to play Ghost Rider on this motherfucker.
yeah,
I want to be
Silver Surfer or something.
Silver Surfer would be fucking fantastic.
Yeah, but that'll be cool for the movies coming up. But we can talk about that in a bit. But
Yeah, we'll get there. The other thing about Marvel, at least the announcements for the Avengers game that I really enjoyed was the fact that they're not charging for DLC after the fact. That was one of the promises that they would, every time a character would become available, it will be a free download. So when they keep releasing more, expanding that universe,
yeah,
it's automatically there. Finally. Because I'm still very classic at heart. I'm still very stuck in my PS2 days.
yeah,
Well, PS2, Super Nintendo, all that stuff. But I buy the game, and that's the whole fucking game. I don't have to pay,
yeah. all the extra
75% more just to play what everybody else is playing.
stuff. Like Spider-Man on PS4 and.
Oh, I pre-ordered that shit. I got all the perks. I wasn't even playing. I did not even. I don't even know how much I spent. I made sure I had that shit.
Yeah.
I went through that campaign so quickly too.
Yeah, it's rare nowadays for games to do that. I know Project CD Red or whatever. The guys behind the Witcher games, and they're making Cyberpunk, which is another game at E3.
With fucking Keanu.
You're breathtaking.
That was a dope trailer though.
My dog.
You're gonna hate me. I still have to see those.
They're good. It's especially with you and your feeling towards dogs.
Oh, Greg, I almost bought another dog this past weekend.
You would get into the movies like, oh my god, they fucking did. Plus Theon from Game of
Theon
Thrones is in it.
Greyjoy is in there.
He's in the first movie, yeah.
Is
And I think it's not the most interesting man in the world from those beer commercials, but
the Dos Equis guy?
the guy that looks like him. I think he was in Taken 2.
Oh, the Taken movies were fucking terrible.
I like the first one. The first one was good. The second one was stupid. It's like throwing grenades. Can you hear them? Yes, Papa.
If I was gonna watch, if I was gonna watch runtime of a contradictory father figure, I'd just watch the Cosby Show.
Well, I remember the third Taken movie, and I remember seeing that in theaters, and I remember Liam Neeson fucking rolling down the stairs, fighting with a dude in that fucking sumo diaper, and I'm like, what in the fuck? And then the bad guy at the end. Spoilers for Taken 3. Like, you give a fuck.
How dare you?
But it's like the fucking stepdad the whole time was behind everything. It's like, fuck that, dude. All these fucking dudes, it's like the stepdad, like, the daughter likes you. It's like, I'm fucking Liam Neeson, god damn it,
The
Just
best.
fucking neck chops him, and it's like, come on, you gotta have a more.
The best thing about Liam Neeson was that Ted cameo.
Oh my God.
Is this true that they're just for kids?
Seth MacFarlane, just, have you ever seen his Wild West movie, like A Million Ways to Die in the West?
Yeah, not that good.
It wasn't, but I remember just laughing my ass off because there's that joke in Family Guy where they have Liam Neeson as a cowboy, like one of their little break-offs, and he's like, oh, see, it's like 40 centigrade or whatever, you know, he's a cowboy, but he's saying all these, like,
Yeah, I remember.
British things. And then you have Liam Neeson as the bad guy in that movie, and then they shove that fucking flower between his butt cheeks. I'm like, this is just a big fucking Family Guy joke.
Yeah,
And at the end of the day, those movies just, they seem like little Family Guy jokes, and I love Family Guy, but it takes me out of those movies.
This is why, I don't know if you know this, but Seth MacFarlane has a music career outside of these TV shows.
Yeah.
Have you heard the songs?
I have them on Spotify saved somewhere. I think I've listened to his Christmas one with Norah Jones, because I'm a sucker for Norah Jones.
I am with you. The Come Away With Me album is,
Yeah.
It's too much.
But have you saw his new show?
The Orville?
Yeah,
I think I watched an episode, but I wasn't interested.
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it yet.
I heard the people. I know the people who like it.
I know he's left Family Guy. He's left that, and now he's working on Orville and all his other stuff. You know, political things, and
He should just continue to do music. He has some of the best pipes around right now.
yeah, that'd be great.
He's got better pipes than Mario Bros.
What's that other Zelda remake?
A direct sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Is this what you're talking about?
Sequel.
A direct sequel. That is fantastic.
Yeah, I have not played that yet, but
I've played it. I didn't get enough time with it to complete the game, but it's so smooth. And I don't want to say that I'm not a fan of Zelda games. I have to be in a certain mood to play them. Like I have Ocarina of Time on my 3DS.
yeah.
And I have a ton of fun playing it. Mm-hmm. But I played this game, the Breath of the Wild 1, and it was beyond smooth. I was so impressed. Thinking about where it started from, and like the Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Nintendo, they just know how to evolve.
Yeah, Pokemon's taking a little long for me to evolve.
They got the Sword and Shield game coming out. Dum dum dum.
I got the lady interested in Pokemon over the last few months, so she's all.
Just gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
I still play the old games. George R.R. Martin went in on a game. Did you see this?
Yeah. What game was it? I remember reading about it.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. That's like that's like an original like.
It's the story from him, or I guess he collaborated. It says the creators of Dark Souls and the creator of Game of Thrones are working together. So I can imagine he helped a great deal with the overall plot.
Well, that's gonna be a nice circle jerk, you know.
It's because it's a ring.
Yeah.
One ring to jerk them all.
Yeah, you know, you're gonna be angry in one way with the gameplay, you know, getting killed all the time, and then you're gonna get angry because your favorite, you know, characters are getting killed off one way or another. It's like I cannot fucking.
You're trying to go through the game and all your friends are dying.
It's like. It
The
took me 8 hours to beat this goddamn boss, and the guy died anyway. That I was trying to say.
the trailer was very ominous.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend's very
Yeah.
very upset that he took the time off from finishing the books.
Yeah, he shit. Goddamn, I'm sorry. He announced that he has plenty of time to do the books, and I was like, oh, I had plenty of time to finish Dream of Spring and all that. It's like, motherfucker. Yeah.
What's that next one gonna be called? Did he release it?
Winds of Winter is the next one. It's not out yet. The last book was released around the time the first season came out. It's been a while. He takes a long ass time, and then the most recent one was that.
Well, he took 6 years just to write the first one.
The most recent one was that like history of the Targaryens. The guy's old. I don't want him to, you know, pass on without finishing them. You know, that'd be terrible.
No, it would be. How did you feel about season 8?
I mean, obviously, you know, camera work wise, acting wise.
Starbucks cups wise.
I mean, like production-wise, it was great, but
They finally figured out how to have a dragon and a dire wolf in the same episode.
yeah,
Good for them. Because I fucking miss Ghost.
There's a lot of missed opportunities and potholes, though, that, maybe we should do an episode of that with spoilers. So
I said we just do a recap of the whole show.
yeah, we could, definitely. Up to season 6, it's pretty damn solid. Season 6 is kind of where it started to falter a bit, but 7 and 8 is kind of where it got kind of fan fiction-y.
You could tell they knew they were running out of time, and they still had so much more to tell. And they couldn't figure out how to organize it like they should have.
There's a lot they could have done, but they cut it out. Lady Stoneheart, I won't spoil that, but they could have done that. That would have connected with the Brotherhood Without Banners. There's Young Griff.
I gotta read the books just because.
Any Young Griff, and that is the Golden Company. You got Euron Greyjoy was basically just a dude in leather that wanted to fuck Cersei. In the books,
he's like, I killed the Kingslayer.
Oh,
I killed
shit. Oh my god.
But he didn't, so it's not a spoiler.
Yeah,
Then everybody's seen it. Everybody's seen it.
There are people I know that haven't seen it, that watch the shows, but they suck.
Yeah, that's an issue.
Well,
if you weren't on top of the TV, you weren't a fan of the show.
Yeah, but there's still time for other people to get interested in it. Later on. What was it? You didn't start watching it till this last season, right? Like this last year?
Yeah, I got into it extremely late. Obviously, you could not convince me in time. You did try. You tried so hard.
Yeah,
it just wasn't time.
When people try to get me to why should I watch it? I just think of the most fucked up things. I was saying dude, Jamie has sex with his wife in front of their dead child's body, and you're like, what the fuck? Why would that make me want to watch it? It's but it's
that was crazy because she wasn't into it.
Yeah,
she would. That scene was all kind of rapey, and I heard in the books it was consensual, and they just acted that wrong. But that was some of the most word type deal. I didn't turn it off.
Yeah.
I didn't stop watching it, but I thought about it. I was like, I didn't think about turning it off. I just thought, man, it's a really ballsy move. Obviously, because your balls are out in front of your dead kid, but.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was a lot. No,
it was.
So I got to it, and I just destroyed the fucking series in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I skipped work to watch it. I was hooked.
Man, I remember I watched it around when season 3 was airing, and I got injured, hurt my knee, and I was out for almost a month, and I was stuck on my couch. And I had someone go to a local media store, and I bought the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones because I kept hearing about them. And I watched them, loved them, rewatched them, and eventually season 3 came out, and I've been kind of following it since. But almost every year I watch the series over again, so I'm pretty decently versed in it. So I'm season 8 was there were parts I liked about it, but there were definitely things that I really wish they could have done a lot better.
Did you agree with people when they said, I wanted a whole new season? These people were petitioning for an entire to recast,
new writers, new everything, rebooted. I'm like, that's not gonna happen.
That was a little far for me. I'm like, number one, Kit's in rehab. He ain't doing shit right now.
Yeah.
Which I hope he gets better. Alcoholism's no joke.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's out, isn't he now? That was after they stopped filming, he went in, right?
Yeah. But even after you leave rehab, you're not better.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's got a road. I don't know what this Emily Clark girl is gonna do.
Yeah, she got nominated for an Emmy and all that. And
did she?
There's a lot of controversy with that, about them being nominated for writing and all that, and acting and all that such. And they'll probably win a decent amount of it because it is the last season. So in a lot of ways, they kind of, well, it's the whole show really when you think about it. But really, they're nominating the last season, so I think they need to keep that in their mind. But
They have all these spin-offs coming out too, though.
to be honest, I don't think this is a very strong year for TV in general to really compare. So I think Game of Thrones is going to run away with a lot of the awards. I mean, you got Sharon Odell.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about TV, though. Every generation, it seems like every 6 years, something just comes out of nowhere and just.
There's like a big thing
Hits
that
you.
like encompasses the zeitgeist, you know? Like Breaking Bad was a big thing and that ended.
It ruined television for me. I could not. I had a hard time finding a show. I mean, The Flash was dope. Like the Arrowverse stuff, I could dig.
Yeah.
But as far as like legitimate storytelling, nothing else could captivate me like that. Like there was that drama with Jesse and Walter, and the things that Jesse had to go through because of Walter. And
Yeah. I mean, finale wise, that
there was
fucking ticked the box.
yeah. How many? I mean, obviously, coming from Game of Thrones. I mean, I have my own piece with that finale.
Yeah.
I'm not mad like other people are mad.
I mean, it was a very happy ending, you know, for the show. What it was very, you know, optimistic.
Yeah, there was a lot of resolve.
But then again, I think if they killed off everyone and, you know, made it dark, everyone would be mad too. I mean, it's one of
Yeah,
those shows.
would people celebrate?
It's one of those shows that's very divisive for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. So I don't think there's a way people would be happy with it.
I think they went out of their way to avoid theories,
I mean,
and everybody had one.
yeah, that's the thing about, you know, when the books are out for, you know, almost, since like the 80s,
No, it was mid-90s.
mid-90s?
I think it was 96 was the first book.
Oh, well,
96,
I'm
98.
a fool then, but it's, you know, with all the time between the books and all the time people have to make theories and the intrigue and the gossip that George R. R. Martin writes in the books, you know, a lot of people can make theories about almost like anything that happens. And when you have that in the show and they don't have a lot of that same, you know, that same passion with it in terms of the way they make the show and the writing of it, I think it leaves a hunger for a lot of fans without the books there, and they're trying to see things in the show that aren't really there.
Well, from what I've heard, I've only finished the first book. I've started the second one. I have not gotten a chance to get to it in a while, but the first book and the first season, where there was some strong parallels, but you could tell we were missing a whole bunch of details.
Yeah.
And especially with the travel. You know that beep?
Yeah.
What's that beep?
E3 things that
I think that's at least all the important things from E3 for me. It's weird when the gaming community that you're a part of is not included.
Yeah, it's a bit odd without it having PlayStation involved.
I really just had Avengers gameplay to look forward to. That was my biggest one, and I feel like that gameplay delivered. Did you see it?
Yeah. I saw like the cinematic reel and all that.
There was gameplay of Thor and Iron Man.
Oh, I don't think I saw that.
Specifically, and it looked smooth as fucking
It
peanut
does look
butter.
really good. I don't know. I'm interested in Borderlands 3.
I'm very interested in Borderlands 3.
No, it's really good. What else is there coming out?
Which I like. Did you get the Borderlands 2 update
I believe so.
with for the textures and the graphic enhancers?
Yeah.
That was pretty good. It was pretty smooth. I still gotta get to that extra level.
There's Cyberpunk. That should be pretty cool. I never played the board game or anything like that, but I like what they did with The Witcher in that series, so I'd be interested to see that game.
I have a ton of fun with Witcher. I didn't think I'd like games like that, and I think Game of Thrones kind of transitioned me into that because I got into Skyrim recently too.
Skyrim's good. I mean, with Game of Thrones ending, you know, there's I think people realize there's that kind of void that people want to see. They got that Lord of the Rings show coming out on Amazon, and they have the Netflix is coming out with The Witcher, so that'll be.
I'm excited for the Netflix Witcher. I also saw, but not confirmed yet. I probably should research before talking out of my ass, but a Netflix Resident Evil series. Did you see this at all?
I did not.
Is this true?
I haven't heard about it. I mean,
Okay.
I really wouldn't doubt it with the way they like farm out movies.
But I mean, do you see Stranger Things? Do you watch Stranger Things at all?
I have not seen season 3 yet, but I've seen the first 2 seasons.
Oh, it's masterful. Oh, it's such a good job. And these Netflix guys, they're completely gonna get fucked up by Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Me, for one, I'm switching over as soon as it's available.
Yeah, and it's what, November something or other? I looked it up earlier.
Yeah, it's November.
Yeah, sometime in November. We'll go with that.
But I know they're releasing all the MCU movies up until Captain Marvel on the app, and then
That'll be cool.
I think December Endgame will be on there.
Yeah, 2020.
Which
they're going to start.
I'm gonna own
releasing,
Endgame next week anyway. So
Is it 2020? They're going to start putting the shows out.
yeah,
Yeah, so that'll be. I don't know. I think Netflix will still be okay, but
no, they'll be okay. But
as NBC is going to start their own streaming thing, they're going to take Parks and Rec probably off. They're taking The Office off in like 2 years, and they're like, I think all these channels are going to start to think they can do it now. I mean, I could see production companies doing it, like Disney, maybe Universal. You know, with the Harry Potter movies, Fast and the Furious, Jurassic Park.
that's gotta be insane for Netflix.
That would be a cool one too, but it's
Well, they already have their own theme park, so they could definitely go that way.
and
It's got to be a thorn in Netflix's side to know that they were their own undoing. I mean, not that they're undone already, but
I mean, you know, they still got a few shows like Ozark still do pretty good, and God, they'll probably. I mean, I imagine if The Witcher does good, you know, that'll help them out too. It looks good. Probably.
they have plenty of things going for them. And if anything, they're going to be a huge. They'll always be a huge from now on platform for comedians.
Yeah.
Because the stand-up specials they push,
Yeah.
they really found a niche there.
Yeah, Bill Burr is on there a lot, and I like him. And
They have the four Dave Chappelles.
I don't know if they have that many yet.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
they got the two. So Dave had 2 Netflix specials, or he had 2 specials already filmed when Netflix approached him for a 4 special deal. So he gave them those 2. Those were released mid year,
Yeah.
and then the next 2 he came out with around Actually, I think it was New Year's Day.
I saw the ones where he was talking about Bill Cosby as a superhero.
Yeah,
Those first
he
2,
rapes, but
and
he saves.
That was the last 2 I saw. I haven't seen the most recent ones yet, but
I'm a fan. I love Dave Chappelle, but
yeah, he's fantastic.
but there's just not many who are as smooth as him.
Yeah.
Then I'm pretty sure that for the 3rd special he was getting high on stage, just getting high and high and high, and he was flowing. He did not falter, man. He was doing good.
Yeah, I mean,
Disney Plus is gonna be huge. What's crazy is this whole Fox deal. So I'm wondering if they're gonna have the Fox.
The Simpsons are going to be on Disney Plus.
That's confirmed.
That's what I heard.
That's huge.
I mean, I wish I could remember where I heard
That's
it.
such a huge catalog.
Simpsons by itself. I mean, you get the first 8 seasons on there, gold. After that, you know, it's kind of like Family Guy for me. You know, after the first 8 seasons, I'm not that interested in it.
When did Conan O'Brien come into The Simpsons? Was it after year 3?
I think season 8 is when it started to falter, like historically. But no, I mean, I'm really excited for that. And Disney now owns a large amount of Hulu because Fox had a big piece of Hulu also.
Yeah, they have that. So they're going to end up doing that package deal. So for the same price you get Netflix, you could have Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu.
Yeah, they own ESPN too.
That is fucking crazy.
That'd be cool for sports and all that.
They own everything, and I'm not even mad about it. It's like Amazon. It's like when people were mad about the the CEO of Amazon not having to pay taxes.
Yeah.
But I wasn't mad because I fucking buy everything from Amazon.
Yeah.
I was like, I really dig your service. I don't care. You can Wesley Snipes this all you fucking want.
No, I'm
What you?
from a company stance. I'm upset with Disney owning almost everything, but from a creative standpoint,
They're not. Yeah, they're not doing a
I'm
bad
very
job.
happy with it.
They're just not doing bad.
I mean, Star Wars. A lot of people didn't like the last one. I didn't mind it.
See, I'm lucky because I'm not into that lore, so I'm not affected by. Because I know people who are mixed.
Yeah.
Like, did people like A New Hope?
Or
Or what was the one?
there was.
New Hope was one of the OG ones, wasn't it?
Yeah. God damn it! I can't think of it. Wow, we're gonna get shit for this.
Well, I'm not a Star Wars fan. It is what it is.
Is A New Hope the first one or the third one?
I couldn't tell you. We're gonna cut all this out anyways.
People are gonna like, oh, they don't know this shit. They're fucking done. I'm just drawing a fucking blank. I mean, obviously, Empire Strikes Back is the second one.
But I think
I think the third is A New Hope. So what's the first one called? I know it's got some kind of name. I'm gonna Google this quick, and I'm going to look like a fool. Star Wars trilogy.
well, to be fair, if they made it an hour and a half to this point to where we look foolish, I think we won them over anyways.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like Disney.
A New Hope is the first one.
Okay.
Empire Strikes Back second. Then Return of the Jedi is the third one. I was thinking Return of the Jedi was.
So what are the new ones?
There's the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. Those are the 2000s ones.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
The new ones are A Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. The new one coming out in December is Rise of the
Silver Surfer.
Rise of Skywalker, I think.
Oh yeah, I think it's Skywalker.
Something to do with Skywalker, which a lot of people like.
Well, Amelia
Skywalker's
Clarke is
dead.
in the Star Wars movies, isn't she?
Hmm?
Amelia Clarke's in the Star Wars, isn't she?
She's in the Han Solo version of it.
Oh, is she?
So, I've heard.
And that's a prequel.
Yeah, they're putting all that on hold because of how it performed. They're gonna do an Obi-Wan prequel and a Boba Fett prequel.
They should not.
I'd rather them not. I mean,
They should not. They should have learned from Fox with the Wolverine origins. I
Yeah,
mean,
then you got-
it's cool, but
yeah,
we
the
know what you're
D&D
doing.
are doing their own Star Wars thing.
D&D like Dungeons and Dragons.
No, like David and Dan from Game of Thrones.
Oh yes, I heard about
They're
this.
gonna
Yeah.
be doing Star Wars coming up in like a year or two.
Well, good for them. They're gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, but if they think they can, not show up to Comic-Con, get yelled at, just imagine them with the Star Wars fans.
Yeah, because that Game of Thrones panel got shit on.
They fucking, I mean,
They let those
when
motherfuckers
the
have
last
it.
Star Wars movie came out, Ryan Johnson, I think. I mean, that movie got petitioned too. You're like, this isn't canon, take it off. So they're gonna have to deal with that too. They picked a bad franchise if they wanted smooth sailing.
Yeah,
They pick like the most loved one.
some fans you just don't fuck with. And I feel like Star Wars, it's hard to fuck with those fans.
Stripperella.
They're making a new new Star Trek shit too. You see that? Beyond or something like this.
There's Picard. I know that came out, but
Patrick Stewart's coming back.
Yeah.
I'm not a Trekkie,
Yeah.
but that's cool that he was
There's-
able to find that role again.
there's always that rumor that Quentin Tarantino is gonna direct a Star Trek movie,
No,
but I've heard it isn't happening. But
it's not gonna happen. That's
I was excited for it. Like, dude,
how would he even do it?
I don't know. Say the N word a bunch.
Yeah,
I'm a Klingon. No, you're getting. That's a very old term, you fool.
there would definitely be more sex in that motherfucker,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
definitely some more murder.
William Shatner would fucking try fucking.
Oh, he'd have to get
all
off.
he could to come back.
He'd have to get off a commercial first. You know what's exciting about the Marvel thing? If we can get into the Disney Plus aspect of it again.
Yeah.
But I like how they're setting this up. It's very methodical.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like not only are they trying to take characters from the comics and bring them on the big screen or any screen, but it also feels like they're trying to take the actual format of the comics and put them, because you got the shows. So you got WandaVision, and that's going to lead into Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
And that feels like we're running through some issues, some comic issues, and then you have the annual where things culminate, and then you have one of those superhero team ups.
Yeah.
And it feels like they figured out how to make comic book movies.
Yeah, where it's got a lot of that kind of old school feeling of like the old comics where kind of like the what if things.
The what if is gonna be so fucking fantastic. I heard they might be doing the zombies too, the Marvel zombies.
Of course.
Which they hinted at in Spider-Man: Far From Home, kind of, with Iron Man.
Yeah, Far From Home. We're gonna make a thing about that too.
Absolutely, I've seen it 3-4 times already.
I've only seen it once, but I'm pretty well versed in it still.
I'm in love with it. I got into a little bit of a Facebook thing. I didn't get into it, but you got, because people are still Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Me, as soon as I saw Into the Spider-Verse, that took #1 spot for me as far as Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. I mean, I understand why Spider-Man 2 is everyone's favorite, but for me personally, I can never get into it. And it's not because of anything wrong with the movie itself.
Tobey Maguire.
It's because when I saw the movie with a lot of my
Was
family,
somebody jerking off again?
Nah. My history has a lot of people jerking off for some reason.
A lot of masturbation.
But I went with a lot of my sisters and all that, and they're not into Spider-Man as much as me. And they pieced together that Peter Parker's initials are PP, and they decided to yell out PP through the whole goddamn movie, and it ruined it for me. It just took me out because I loved the first one, and I wanted to see the second one so bad, and it just ruined it. And
have you tried watching it since then?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had it and all that, and it's
you're watching it, and Otto Octavius just climbing the building, and you're just thinking,
it's like Winter Soldier for me. I love Winter Soldier, but that movie was also ruined for me.
Why you need to stop watching movies with people who ruin them?
Yeah, I was watching. There was a Facebook friend I had that wanted to watch Captain America. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go with you. I just thought of it as like a friend thing. She did not. She thought it was a date. And she got Sour Patch Kids and all this other shit. And she was in love with Sebastian Stan. The guy that does Bucky.
Yeah, of course.
He came on screen and she screamed. Packed theater. Like, this fucking high-pitched, like, fanboy, Beatles come on stage squealing. I'm like, oh my God. And she's the whole time trying to flirt with me. And I just want to watch the goddamn movie. And not flirting in a good way, flirting like in a taking popcorn and putting it down the back of my shirt kind of way.
Like this is first grade and I don't know how to communicate my feelings?
Yeah, and then she's like, you want a Sour Patch Bear or whatever? And I'm like, no, I don't really care for sour.
Nah, bitch, I want you to sit the fuck
and
over there.
She would just slide it into my mouth. And I'd spit it out, and she'd slide more in my mouth. And it was just that. Screaming when she saw Bucky, putting popcorn down my shirt, and sliding candy into my mouth. Like she was Bill Cosby sliding Jell-O into my drink. And
Pops.
It ruined it. It ruined the movie, and when we left, she was like sitting out in the parking lot. And she's like, you want to ride home? And I only lived a couple blocks away. I'm like, no, I'll walk it. No, I'll walk. It's fine. Thank you, though. And she's like, get in my car. And I'm like, no. She's like, get in my car.
No means no, lady.
It was like the opposite, where women have to deal with that with men. But in this case, I had to deal with that with a woman. And she would not take no for an answer. And people started to come out of the theater. And we're having this argument in the parking lot. I'm like, I'm not going in the car with you.
You brave soul, Greg.
Yeah, I was almost, I had my innocence almost taken from me. But no, people ruin things for me, and when I watch them, I just think of those things, you know? It pisses me off, especially when it's the first time I see it. It feels like the second or third, I'm like, what the fuck ever, but...
They just ruin the magic.
It's kind of like Doctor Who, you know? It's one of those shows that I'm sure I'll like, but, you know...
I never even tried. I've never even thought of trying, but I'm sure I'd like it.
You know, there's a certain someone that we're acquainted with, you know, that's really into it, and just ruined it for me. Ruined it. I mean, I love the guy, but he's over enthusiastic to the point where it's just like, now.
No, he really does like what he likes. I saw his music collection. I was smoking some weed with him, and was going through his CDs in his car, and I was like, oh man, you got a lot of Queen, and this guy went on just the biggest speech about Queen. And I was happy for him because he liked something that much. But also, I was like, we could just put the CD in, man. This is fine. He does come off pretty strong.
Yeah.
You know who else comes off as strong? Is Captain America. And I don't know if you've heard about this. But apparently, one of the original scenes in Endgame was when Thanos comes back into the future, right? What year are they in? 2023, 2023, 25?
They meet him in 2014 when they're getting the stuff from Morag and all that.
And then after the 5-year snap.
It's like 9 years to them, I think they said, because I watched it pretty recently, so 9 years, 2014.
So when Thanos meets up with them again after they've accomplished what they believe was the mission, it was said that it was originally written for Thanos to come out and throw a severed head at the feet of Steve Rogers. At which point Steve looks down and looks, and it's his own head. He's looking at Captain America's head. I guess Disney said, yo, you can't do this. But think about how raw that would have been.
It would have made kids cry.
Oh my goodness.
Squealing. What are you fucking squealing? There's a scene where everyone, you know, takes a knee all around him. Like all the heroes.
What? Didn't that feel like some Kaepernick type shit?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. That's what I thought too. I was like, do it.
Oh my god. I was on Reddit and I posted on there and I wrote this really sarcastic thing like, this is why Colin Kaepernick is a fascist. You know, all this shit. And I'm going on about how, you know, all this political shit that has nothing to do with everything at all. And everyone's getting so mad. I'm like, how the hell is Colin Kaepernick a fascist? He was, you know, protesting against the police and all this shit. And I'm like, I'm obviously joking.
People take things too seriously.
I got like a negative, like, you know, on Reddit, you know, you get like upvoted or downvoted. You know, I got like negative 60 fucking points on that fucking post.
They wanted you gone.
They wanted me fucking dead. And I'm like, I cannot believe you made that kind of Kaepernick connection without me even saying it.
No, the second I saw that scene, because it is a deleted scene, isn't it, where it pans out?
It is.
And it's crazy how they just take the knee like you're watching the beginning of Sunday Night Football. And the first thing I thought of was, look at these Kaepernick motherfuckers. Yeah. And then I took a knee watching them. I was like, I have to join in. It's just what it is.
This is, oh my god. I saw an opportunity, I took it, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so happy you got that reference without me saying it.
Oh yeah, I had to.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
No, we should probably...
Take a knee right now, huh?
Yeah. What else is there to talk about with Comic-Con other than Marvel? I mean, Marvel was kind of the big thing. I mean, there's Rick and Morty. I mean...
Yeah, you got your Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Are you into that, or have you watched it?
You know, I enjoy it, but it's one of those things... Remember when I said that the Breaking Bad ruined television for me? So I fancy myself a storyteller.
Yeah. So
I'm drawn to plots. So shows like this where, you know, it's random and it's like, well, what adventure are they on this week? Mm-hmm. It's cool. It's novelty. It's funny.
Yeah.
But it's not going to make me come back next week.
There is a loose plot, like really, like the final 2 episodes, maybe first episode of the seasons. But otherwise, yeah, it's just kind of
It's
You know, the
nonsensical
adventures.
humor, yeah, and which I love.
They got okay, it's like episode 9. Evil Warrior shows up, or is Beth a clone or whatever? Those big, Rick turns himself in. How's he gonna get out? It's kind of like they wait for like the final episode to really do like kind of a story thing with it, but yeah, otherwise it's very much just random episodes. I mean, it's been a while since they've been out. They got that contract now where they're making 100 episodes.
Yeah, they got renewed pretty hard.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah, they have just an expansive fan base. There's so many people.
The fan
who
base
love
kind
that
of
show.
hurts me a little bit.
You think they're too strong? You think they're like Star Wars fans?
They kind of like.
Some Star Wars fans like, fuck you, Joe.
There were times where when I was working at Culver's, and I would say something about Rick and Morty, and certain someone would come up and he's like, what was it? I'm like, well, hypothetical situation, because I don't know if this is true, but let's say I'm making some fries, and I put it in the,
That's what we do at Culver's, kids. We make fries.
Yeah, don't anymore, but
what we did.
I would make fries and put it up, and I'm like, yeah, squanch that, and this, guy would come up, he's like, do you even know what squanch means? And I'm like, oh my god. He's like, no, do you know what squanch means? And he just got so fucking into it, and he wouldn't stop. I'm like, motherfucker, can I just enjoy something without knowing every single fucking thing about it?
You cannot, and how dare you for wanting otherwise.
Can't I just enjoy things without getting into all the fan theories? Because, Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland even hate that shit. They're like, dude, it's just a show. Don't take it so seriously.
Well, fan theories are fun, and like, I don't want to circle back to Game of Thrones because we always, we get off track. But yeah, it's you've built up so many things that you've prevented yourself from enjoying it.
Yeah.
I like the idea of I don't know what will happen next. Now my girlfriend gets frustrated with me. I watched Big Hero 6 for the first time the other night with her and her kids.
It's a good movie.
I loved it. It was the first like really successful animated Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So good for them. And the Stan Lee cameo. I adored, especially the end credit scene. But as soon as spoilers.
Spoilers.
Within 15 minutes, I knew that the old man.
Well, it's always gonna be a twist.
Yeah, I knew the old man was the guy in the mask. Yeah, it just there was no going around it. So I mean, it's like fan theories are fun, and me, I like to play detective when I watch things, but that's for my own amusement. But I don't let it ruin things.
Yeah, that's why, supporting original content's really important too,
So here, tell me about The Boys real quick, and then we'll probably wrap it up. So because I don't have Amazon Video, so I'm not able to get this platform.
Well,
I can, but I don't.
The Boys
seek it out.
More or less from the trailer. They showed that at Comic-Con, and basically.
Has it been released yet at all?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Do they do the Netflix thing where they set out all the episodes?
It's all season 1.
That's smart.
Yeah, you can binge it. I've only gotten through a few so far, but
is it good?
Yeah, I like it.
It has like a Watchmen vibe on it, doesn't it?
Kinda. It's got Carl Urban in it. I love Carl Urban. He's in Judge Dredd.
Okay.
He's awesome.
The original.
He's in the first Red movie.
Okay.
But basically, there's a guy with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend gets killed, by, just casualty, but from superpower, just on accident. And basically,
It was a White Walker.
the superhero gets no, it's kind of the anti-Incredibles, where there's consequences, or like Hancock, where he does shit and there's consequences for it. In this, the guy faces no consequences for the, death of his girlfriend. He becomes upset, and he finds out about this kind of league of people called the Boys, who have also been fucked over by these superheroes, and they want to destroy them one way or another.
I can dig it.
Yeah, and the superheroes are kind of like a league, Justice League-ish.
Does it feel like
It's
does it
more
feel like Umbrella Academy at all?
I have not seen Umbrella Academy, but it's kind of like a corporation of superheroes, and these dudes, the boys, are more or less trying to kill them and all this shit. That's basically the premise.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. But
Yeah, I'm down. Obviously, if it involves superheroes or supervillains,
Yeah.
I'm involved. But it is cool when there is a level of maturity involved. I think that's why I liked Into the Spider-Verse so much, because Peter B. Parker was dealing with some actual adult shit, and I finally got to see Spider-Man be a man.
Yeah.
So
I guess to finish up, maybe you say like your top 5 things, over whatever you're looking most forward to over the next year.
over the next year, or from what we know.
Well, I mean, obviously Half-Life 3 ain't happening, but
I'll play Half-Life 2 again though. Shit.
well, I guess from what we know, yeah, from what's announced.
From what I number one, Multiverse of Madness. That I don't know if I'm like the Blade announcement was exciting, but that movie just has so many possibilities. Because number one, Scarlet Witch being in the MCU as an Inhuman,
Yeah.
kind of feels weird to me because that's Magneto's daughter.
Yeah.
You're gonna have Magneto's daughter being an Inhuman in your franchise, and I know it's an alternate reality and it's not 616. Despite you, Mysterio.
Yeah.
So like that, like I don't like to nitpick, and I know Marvel has its alternate dimensions and stuff like this, but it still doesn't feel right that she's an Inhuman. So if that can somehow get there, plus it's gonna be a fucking horror movie.
Well, I mean,
We're gonna see a horror-esque movie from the MCU. I'm kind of, the first movie was pretty dark.
yeah.
They weren't fucking around too much. And then that last scene, spoilers, that end credit scene, where what's the dude's name? He was
The weird kind of mentor dude, right?
yeah.
I forget his name.
He takes the magic away from the guy who was in Miss Congeniality.
Jesus Christ.
I had a pull for that one.
It's been a while since I've seen Doctor Strange, but
He pulls the magic from him and he becomes a cripple because he was using the magic.
oh yeah, the guy that was playing basketball and
Yeah, but he was using his magic or his inner fucking zen to walk because he was in a gang violent situation. When they hit that, that was a serious tone that I haven't seen from Marvel yet. So I know that given the right tools, they can make that real dope.
Eat your vegetables.
I am all kinds of excited for the finale of Legion.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to spoil it too much for you.
Yeah. It's one of those things I gotta see. Yeah, it's just kind of gotten around to it between watching Parks and Rec for like the 8th time over, and BoJack, and rewatching all the same shows.
Neglecting original material.
The most recent show I really watched was Barry.
I heard Barry was good though. I heard Barry was really
Barry's good. Maybe sometime later we can talk about it, but it's worth checking out if you have HBO.
Well, it's what, Bill Hader?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I watched the beginning of one episode and then I ended up I had a phone date.
It's good. Its cliffhangers are fucking nuts. It's awesome.
Yeah, so definitely the finale of Legion because I adore that show. They do a really good job. Noah Hawley is, I feel like that's the right last name. He is beyond talented. I wish he did another season of Fargo.
Yeah.
But it's too much. I'm excited to see what AEW is gonna do.
Oh yeah, October.
I'm very curious on their TV deal with TNT.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious on how they're gonna fill out those couple of hours.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if we're gonna see Chris Jericho versus Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Which I gotta tell you, I don't like Matt Riddle that much.
Yeah, he's a bit much, but I mean, for what he does in the arena, I like him. But yeah, he's
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell from his attitude that he's still green. You can be talented all you want, but
yeah,
you gotta understand where the fuck you are. But I do dig the fact that he brought up Chris Benoit in that video. If you saw that video, so he was talking about how Goldberg is inadequate, and well, he didn't say inadequate. I don't think he knows big words like this, but riddle me that, Matt.
Jesus.
No, he was talking about Bill Goldberg, and then he said that Bill would never be in a class with him. He named himself first, which is very pompous. Then he mentioned Benoit, other guys, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart,
Yeah.
etc., etc. I don't know why he had himself. You're too young. You're too young to include yourself in that. You gotta respect your peers before you become one of them.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that 4 or 3?
That was 4.
That was 4. I need a 5th one real quick.
You mentioned Blade, Doctor Strange.
You know what I'm excited for?
AEW.
I'm excited to see how they incorporate not even the X-Men, because I feel like we're gonna figure that out with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be a big one for mutants. But I'm very curious in how they're gonna bring in the Fantastic Four, because we have yet to see an actual, like, fans loving,
Yeah.
like, wonderfully.
They've mostly been kind of like
Yeah, I mean, it's been like the
kind
first.
of junky, you know. The first 2 were watchable. The last one though was
It was disgusting.
plot holes galore, and all that editing.
It made me feel bad for the franchise. And it made me feel even more bad that.
Cast wise, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the cast.
No, the cast was fine.
Michael B.
It's
Jordan,
just they didn't
you know?
they didn't use them right. And I wasn't mad about Michael B. Jordan playing the Human Torch. I'm okay with that. So that stuff is weird to me.
Yeah.
James Bond can't be black. He's fictional.
Yeah.
He can be whatever somebody writes him as.
Oh yeah, the next James Bond is supposed to be a black woman.
Um,
Well, not really, but you know, she's going to be like an in between to get Daniel Craig back in the movie, you know. But she'll take over the name 007 for a bit, and then so will happen.
weren't I heard they were casting the girl from Captain Marvel, not
Yes.
Brie, but her
The
her best friend. Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to be in it.
So good for her. It's always cool to see someone have like a side role and then have something that huge. It's very Tom Hardy-ish.
Yeah.
Also, I guess for a bonus one, Jonathan Hickman. You know, I don't know if you actually do you read comics?
Not necessarily, no.
So Jonathan Hickman
It's been a long
had a run with the Fantastic Four, and I loved it. It was he ended up doing. Did you hear about the Human Torch dying, like them actually killing him off?
No.
Well, it happened in comics. In actual continuity, they killed him off.
Yes.
And people weren't too ecstatic about it, but it was during that run, and he was very huge on that. They have he's right now he's writing the X-Men, and I have to start it. It's very new or recent up to now, but he's hemming. He's taking that X-Men role, and it's called the House of X. And I'm very curious to get my hands on this. I gotta know, because I think one of my earliest fandoms was the X-Men. Like, put aside Marvel, like X-Men was like their own entity to me, especially with that animated show.
Yeah, you know, like a Saturday morning cartoons type of deal, you know?
Yeah, I loved
Spider-Man, Batman, X-Men.
I remember reading Wolverine and Gambit comics like during car rides and shit. So I'm very excited to see what Hickman does with them, because I trust this guy. What about you? 5 things. Maybe with a bonus, maybe.
I'm excited for the Witcher TV series.
Yes.
The
'Cause
trailer looks really good.
Henry looks good.
Henry looks too good.
Oh, I would
He's
do some
muscly,
stuff.
He's undeniably attractive.
I will
He's an
sharpen-
action star. He's a fucking nerd
I will sharpen his sword anytime.
because he's read all the Witcher books and he was like in the interview, he's like, well, have you read the books? Because we could do this and this and this. I'm like, oh my god, he's too much. How am I supposed to get anything done with him fucking walking around the earth?
Just curling 10 pounds looking jacked. He's like, you don't need big weights.
It's too fucking much. Too much.
He's a beast of a man.
I'm excited for that. I need to read the books. I have them lined up in my Audible.
I have
Free trial thing.
I bought one, and it was a prequel that was written later on because I want to go through it. The continuity.
Yeah, they're written out of order and all that, but they're done now.
It's different.
Yeah.
What I've read so far, I like, but I have just comic books that I'm still trying to get through.
Yeah.
I'm getting through Secret War, the original Secret Wars right now, so that's kind of taking my attention span.
Yeah. I would say otherwise. The Witcher, the Lord of the Rings series looks pretty good.
Yeah, I heard that looks good.
They had a Comic-Con reveal of basically the writers and producers and all that, basically all these awesome people. So that's cool because I'm big on Lord of the Rings. 3, probably AEW, and probably the month of October for wrestling in general, with the Fox deal
And the Fox deal is going to be very interesting. I'm interested to see who they put over on Friday nights.
It'll be nice to see if they have an actual set roster, brand split. And all
Do you
that.
think they'll keep Kofi as the champion over on Fox?
It'd be nice. I'd like to see Samoa Joe though as a.
I would love to see. He needs it. I know he had his run with the U.S. title, but he deserves a world title. That guy is professional.
Him, KO, or Bray Wyatt. I'm into being champion. That was 3, so 4. There's that new Harley Quinn animated series.
Yes.
In the vein, it's rated R.
That's right.
It's kind of throwbacky, but.
And they're doing Hush.
It's not Kevin Conroy doing the voice, but I can't think of the name of the guy doing it, but that looks pretty good. And number 5, I would say, try not to pick ones you already picked. Maybe the new season of My Hero Academia. It's an anime. I don't know if you watched that.
No, but I heard about it.
I'm on season 2 right now. It's pretty good. It's with anime, it's pretty cheesy and all that, and over dramatic, and the main character always cries a lot.
They're like cartoon soap operas.
Yeah, but it's pretty good. The
With
action
violence.
scenes that they have are fucking stellar. Yeah, it's funny, and
That's cool.
a lot of people are talking about that. So even though I'm not caught up with it,
What network is that on?
I watched it on Hulu. But
Okay.
It's probably on Adult Swim, I imagine.
I feel like Adult Swim is like the home for. Remember when there was Toonami?
Yeah.
Like that's the original home for that
After
show.
school kind of thing, Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
Sailor Moon kind of shit, Gundam. Yeah, it's maybe an honorable mention, I suppose. It's hard not to say Rick and Morty. I'm pretty excited for that. I own all the first 3 seasons, so I'm obviously excited for the 4th. So
You said 100 new episodes are coming.
I think they're
100 more?
completing I think they're completing 100.
That's-
So they already have all 30, so they're going to be
That
making around
is
70 more.
insane. Good for them. Good for them. That's a huge deal.
Yeah. Or I guess obviously also Disney Plus. That'll shake things up
It's gonna be a game changer.
in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's gonna monkey with Amazon and Netflix, Hulu, one way or another. Whether people buy the movies when they come out, because obviously they're gonna come out in there eventually. People are just gonna wait.
I will eventually buy all the movies.
I plan to. It's just
When the moment I get rich, shit, I'm gonna have a room just for fucking collector's editions.
yeah.
But yeah, for now, Disney Plus is
it's gonna, you know.
You telling me I can just fucking watch them all? I can finally have that marathon?
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like, what, $6 a month or something like that? It's supposed to be pretty cheap.
Cheap as
Cheaper
fuck.
than Netflix at very least, and Simpsons alone.
Cheaper than McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. I remember trying out Hulu Live, the $40 live cable thing, where it comes to like sports and all that. And it was like a 7-day free trial. I didn't really end up getting it, but I remember they had all the Simpsons episodes on there. Because if you get live, they have a different selection of shows you can watch.
Well, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just thought they were doing additional TV stuff.
Standard Hulu, you get like up to like starting with season 30 of The Simpsons and then on. If you get Hulu Live, you get all of it.
God damn.
You know, things like that. And I'm like, oh my god, $40 just for that. It's worth it. Not really. You know, but I was thinking more of like if you buy the seasons, but you know, then you're buying all of them like every month. So really, you know, at the time that was my thinking during the first time I saw it. Then I'm like, I'm fine. You know, after 7 days, I kind of watched what I wanted to watch, and then I got rid of it. But
I don't need it. I had PlayStation View for a little bit.
never tried it.
And that was like $45
Ugh.
with an all right selection of channels.
The thing is sports. The thing is getting sports, and they know that. You know,
Well, Sling has a good sports package.
Sling does, yeah. But whenever I wanted to watch sports, they'd say, I remember the Super Bowl was on, and I got Sling, and then they said, we no longer have the rights to show this. And it's like, fuck you.
Where?
Why am I paying for you then?
Yeah, that's definitely unappealing for consumers.
That was maybe a couple years ago though, but yeah, I should probably call it an episode then.
Yeah, I guess we'll be right. Well, we made 2 hours, Greg.
Jesus
Eh,
Christ.
The inaugural 2-hour episode.
Yeah. Do you think this will go up or?
Well, I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it tomorrow at work. Figure out how much material's like good,
Yeah.
which I'm sure I'll cut out anything I don't like or that doesn't
All
sound,
of me.
it doesn't sound good. I know I gotta adjust my voice a lot as far as volume goes. I'll have to put a limiter on there, but I'll edit it a little bit, send it to you. If we both like it, it goes up.
All right, yeah, we'll have to, get some music going and, some artwork and then more episodes to come.
Yeah, stick around.
Make a Twitter handle or something and email to email.
I like to call it the love handle.
Yeah, the love and essential chocolate.
Mark Henry.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Yeah, bye.
Till next time.